It's going from all manners of extremes in the equation. I think we've done that even from the first album and the second album, but here, being given this opportunity of a double album, then obviously all these sort of character pieces, it's just like that old thing of the multifaceted diamond, but that's exactly what it is. I think it's important to sort of to look at the whole phenomena of Led Zeppelin, because what it was it was a touring vehicle, and it was touring, playing and including the music from each of the new albums. So we'd just gone through a real lengthy process of touring, and we had a bit of a break, time for people to go on holiday and that with their families, and then the the recording date was put in the schedule, and what it was to actually return back to Headley Grange, where we'd done the fourth album, and have a mobile recording truck, a multi-track truck, so we could do exactly the same. We could do exactly the same thing that we did before, which was be in residence, but just eat, breathe, almost sleep music, but not quite eat it, but that's what it was. You're going to eat there, you're going to sleep there, theoretically, but what you're going to do is make music there and concentrate on it, and be able to push this whole idea that we did on the fourth album even further, and in a really concentrated, focused way. I was so keen to be able to go back to Headley. It was our second visit there, but from the first visit, we got to really I really understood what could be done there and how we could record there in what rooms, and we had the benefit of the hallway, which gave this massive drum sound, and I wanted to return back to have all of these sonic options at your disposal, for the recording, and push it even further. So I actually had quite a number of songs, complete songs like 10 Years Gone, but ideas that I wanted to try. And one of the things that I had was Kashmir, and the riff of Kashmir, this sort of riff that would go round and round and round, because literally musically it's called a round, and that's what it would do. And this idea of having like these interventions of the cascading, it was like electric 12-string I was doing at the time, but to be brass and cellos to replicate the riff. I had this idea in my head, but I was itching to get there with John Bonham and play this riff, because I knew, and he just loved it, and we just played it over and over and over and over, because it was just the two of us working there at that point of time, and with him I started bringing out all these ideas that I had, like The Sick Again and Wanton Song and all these things, and it was just really great.
welcome to episode 6 of my Led Zeppelin Deep Dive series. Today I am talking about their 6th studio album, their first double album, Physical Graffiti. This was released on February 24th, 1975, and many people consider this their favorite Led Zeppelin album. What's not to like? It's got everything that made Led Zeppelin great on here, no matter what your preference is in Led Zeppelin. Do you like them bluesy? Do you like hard rock? Do you like folky? Do you like country rock? Do you like Neil Young type ballads? It is all on here. This is kind of their white album, I guess you could say. But definitely the pinnacle of Led Zeppelin's career, the zenith of their commercial fortunes, as it were. So this was recorded again. They went back to Headley, Grange, where they had recorded Led Zeppelin 4, trying to recapture that magic. And they came up with 8 new songs, which only constituted about 3 sides of an album. And so they decided that they were going to resurrect some alternate takes, some outtakes from the last 3 albums, from Led Zeppelin 3 up through Houses of the Holy, just to fill out a double album. And I think the newer songs sit very well alongside the older material. I mean, we're not talking like a span of 10 years. We're only talking, the 4th album was released in 71, Led Zeppelin 3 in 70, Houses of the Holy 73, and here we are just only 5 years really removed from when the 3rd album came out. And so, yeah, it works very well as a double album, and there are some of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs on this collection. So let's get right into the songs on this album. I got a double album to talk about, so let's get right into it and stop wasting time. So it starts off with Custard Pie, which is very much a hard, funky rocker. Great way to open up the album. They settle into a very cool groove here. I love the electric piano from John Paul Jones. Great guitar work from Jimmy Page. Love the harmonica work. I presume it's from Robert Plant. But it all gels together. Apparently, the first arrangement they tried of this song was a lot faster. But I like this one a lot. I think you can find that version maybe on one of the super deluxe anniversary sets of Physical Graffiti. But anyway, Custard Pie is great. The next song is The Rover, which was a leftover from the Houses of the Holy sessions. I love the 1-2 punch of just heavy rocker and then heavy rocker. The Rover is great. It's just a no bullshit, no frills, straight ahead rock song. And you do have Robert Plant again singing about hippies and peace and love, and that seemed to be one of his favorite lyrical themes on these early Led Zeppelin albums. But The Rover is just a kick-ass song. The 3rd track is In My Time of Dying, the longest, the dirtiest blues song that Led Zeppelin would ever record. This song goes on forever and it still doesn't seem long enough. This is an amazing marathon of a blues song, and much like Stairway to Heaven, it kind of starts off very slow, but then it builds and it builds and it gets faster, and by the end, it's just they're all going ape shit on the instruments. Robert Plant is wailing away on the vocals, and then it all kind of breaks down and you hear John Bonham coughing, and that is the masterpiece that is In My Time of Dying. Fourth song is another leftover from the Houses of the Holy album. This would have been the title track, but they felt it was too similar to Dancing Days, so they held it over and resurrected it for Physical Graffiti. I love this song. I think that it would have really fit right at home on Houses of the Holy, regardless of how similar it was to Dancing Days. Like I made the point in my last video, I would have been happy if they would have gotten rid of the crunge and put this on instead, but they didn't. The next track is Trampled Underfoot, which was another new song recorded at Headley, Grange. More of that electric clavinet from John Paul Jones gives it that funky feel. Heavy, heavy pounding drums from John Bonham. Great blistering guitar work from Jimmy Page. I love this groovy, funky little track. And the last song on the first album is Kashmir, one of those epic opus tracks by Led Zeppelin. Second to Stairway to Heaven, this one has probably got more heavy radio play. Has an exotic feel to it, but that riff is just timeless. It's a great song. I don't have to tell you how great it is. You know what I'm talking about.
For which they sit and wait, all will be revealed. sun burns the ground. And my eyes filled with sand as I scan this wasted life.
Maybe goes on a little bit too long. That might be my only complaint. It's a long song, and I don't know if it needs to be this long because they're just kind of repeating the motif over and over again. But other than that, Kashmir is a great song. Side 3 opens up with In the Light, which is very much a Pink Floyd-esque progressive style rock. It's got some very spooky organ at the beginning. It's a little bit creepy at the beginning, and then it settles in and turns into just a fantastic rocker. And the light is great. I love how you've got the light and the dark and the heavy and the soft, and it just moves through all these different atmospheric moods during the course of one song, and I just love it. Now, this is another instance where I am used to the original cassette track listing because Broyar closed out the first album on the cassette. It was Kashmir, and then at the very end of what would have been the first album, they threw Broyar on there, which I thought that was great, a great gentle way to close out the first album. But then now that I hear it here, it just kind of feels out of place. I feel like this song needed to be at the end of the first album. It fit really well there. And I don't know, sequencing time-wise, maybe they couldn't do it. But it just seems to kind of like, all right, it's there. I mean, it's a nice instrumental, but it just feels a little, to me anyway, kind of out of place after In the Light. Then we get into Down by the Seaside, which sounds like Led Zeppelin trying to do a little bit of Neil Young, but it does have some electric piano, which is very cool. I like the song a lot. I like the, I don't know if it's flamenco guitar, whatever the hell Jimmy Page is playing. I love it. It's just kind of a gentle, lilting, easygoing song. Easily one of the best lighter songs that Led Zeppelin would ever attempt. Down by the Seaside is great. Then 10 Years Gone, which is such a moody track. I love Jimmy Page's guitar on here, and it starts out very slow, and then eventually it kind of picks up a bit. But you get that mournful, there's that feeling of mourning, of regret on this song. It's a very sad song, but I like it a lot.
Then again it will be. Though the course may change sometimes, rivers always reach the sea. Blind skies of fortune, each have separate way. On the wings of maybe, leaves the nest, got so far to go. Changes fill my time, baby, that's alright with me. In the midst I think of you and how it used to be.
I 10 Years Gone is just amazing. Night Flight is kind of a bouncy little rocker. It's all right. Not one of my favorites on here, but it's very cool. Led Zeppelin having some fun. It's not a heavy song, but it is a cool rocker. I like Night Flight. Wonton Song has some elements of Trampled Underfoot on here. Reminds me of that kind of funky Trampled Underfoot groove. They've got a little bit of that here. I do like the guitar tone that Jimmy Page gets on this song. More great drumming from John Bonham. Am I the only one who sees a resemblance here between Wonton Song and Trampled Underfoot? Anybody? Anyway, I like the song, but just reminds me of that one. Boogie with Stu. This was recorded during the sessions for the fourth album when they were recording rock and roll, and they were utilizing the services of the Rolling Stones pianist Ian Stewart. They're kind of riffing on the Ritchie Valens song, Ooh My Head, but having a lot of fun with it. I love they got some mandolin here, some very boogie-woogie piano. John Bonham with some interesting drum effects. I'm not sure exactly what percussion he's using on this song. It sounds very primitive, but it's a very charming track. Then Black Country Woman, which kind of reminds me of Bro Yar Stomp from the third album.
Not even yet. Hey, mama, what's the matter here? Hey, mama, what's the matter here? You didn't have to tell me that you love me so. You didn't have to love me, mama, let me go. Hey, mama, what's the matter here? You didn't have to make me a total disgrace. You didn't have to leave me with that beer in my face. Hey, mama, what's the matter here? That's alright. It's awful doggone clear. Hey, baby, why you treating me mean? Oh, baby, why you treating me mean? You didn't have to crucify me like you did. You didn't have to tell me I was just your kid. Hey, mama, why you treating me mean? You didn't have to say you'd always be by my side. You didn't have to tell me you'd be my blushing bride. Hey, mama, why you treating me mean? But that's alright, I know your sisters too.
I like the country hoedown kind of feel of this, how it picks up. It's definitely a foot stomper. I'm a big fan of Black Country Woman. And then it ends with Sick Again, another Headley Grange track. And this song is a great way to close out the album. It's got a great riff. It's heavy. It's everything fantastic about Led Zeppelin. I love Sick Again. And I love this album. Holy smokes, it's a lot of information to digest, but not too much. I mean, there's really only 15 songs on here for a double album, but one of their best. At one time, I consider that my favorite Led Zeppelin album, and on any given day, it still might be. But anyway, let me know what you think of Physical Graffiti. How does it rank in your discography ranking? Hope you're doing great. I know this video went a little long, but it's a double album. So anyway, take care.